Hello, my name is Mohammad. I go to Ahl Bayt Islamic School in Ottawa, Canada. Thanks to GYC for giving me this opportunity, and thank you to my teacher who has supported me throughout this challenge. I wanted to join GYC 2022 to try a new challenge and was interested in the topic of AI. So, when we think about AI, do we always remember the positive aspects? When we think about AI, do we think about the negative aspects? The answer to both questions is no. What we need to do is ensure the increase of the positive impacts of AI and consequently decrease the negative ones. In my essay, I focus on both the positives and the negatives of AI in the subject of engineering. On the positive side, AI has made our lives a lot easier and safer with a reduction of human error and a 24/7 availability. Digital assistants like Siri and Alexa are very easy tools to use. With speech recognition, they can easily open apps and check the weather for you or search things on Google faster. Another example is driverless cars. These cars are programmed to recognize patterns such as steering, lane changing, or parking by connecting AI to sensors in the car. The sensors gather traffic information by connecting to the car's cameras and to online road maps. This reduces crashes while the car is following traffic rules that people sometimes tend to break, like speeding or tailgating. However, we should be careful. AI can put humanity at risk. It can be used as spy drones, destruction, and combat. This could lead to mass surveillance and breach of privacy. It is believed that the more AI is developed, the less privacy there is due to many hackers invading. AI will most probably leave people unemployed because one machine could accomplish the work of many employees, probably in less time too. It would also be cheaper for companies to substitute humans with machines and software programs, and this may increase the socioeconomic inequalities. So, I believe individuals and companies and private organizations should not be the ones to decide the future of AI and its impact on our future. Most of the time, competition and the need for power and money drives them to invent and create AI systems, programs, and machines without taking into consideration how people or the environment will be harmed. So how do we ensure the safe use of AI and lower its catastrophic consequences? I believe that AI should be regularized and controlled by the United Nations and recognized by legitimate international organizations. We might need AI acts and more control exercised by the legitimate bodies. How do we make this happen? The best way is to sign petitions and hold peaceful public demonstrations to pressure the government to take action. Since everyone is on social media, we can also raise awareness on social platforms like Facebook and Instagram by posting pictures and videos that show people how we can make the best of AI if we use it wisely. With these considerations, humankind can enjoy the benefits of AI with minimum negative outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed, for those great insights. Your first question will be presented to you by Mr. Andrew Shao.
Oh, that was a really good presentation. I really agree with you that we should totally ensure the positive impact of AI technology, and we should also minimize the negative impact. And also agree with you that AI technologies should be regularized and controlled. So my question is, so for technologies that have the potential risks, such as taking over people's jobs, so do you have any can you elaborate more on how you think we should regularize them? Or do you think it's more beneficial to have them? Or do you think we should completely stop them from being developed? Just your opinion on this.
Yeah, so I think that I think that people like the robots, like most of the time AI doesn't need to eat or sleep or do any of these things. So I think the best I think the jobs that are like let's say people time shift, you know, like they're sometimes awake in the night and then someone's awake in the day. I think AI can replace that part, but then in some jobs, like for example, in a restaurant, for example, people kind of serving the food and everything, like being cashier and everything and all of that. I think that I don't think that AI should be involved in this because there's a lot of people that work in these restaurants, and I think it's better for AI to only be involved in really hard tasks that and risky tasks that humans won't be able to accomplish that easily.
Thank you for your answer.
No problem.
Thank you for the question and a great answer. And your second question will be presented to you by Professor Wilton.
Thank you very much for sharing those that interesting perspectives about the positive and negative effects of AI as it affects humans, and also for your suggestion that we need to stand up and advocate for these important issues. And I like that you brought up the issue of regulating AI, and that it's important to regulate AI to mitigate the possible negative effects on humans. And so that made me think a little bit about how some people speculate that social media can be controlled by companies and corporations, and that what's posted on social media can influence how we think. So I might just share in the chat a link to Dr. Ann Kavukian, who was a 3-time privacy commissioner in Ontario, who's very much interested in regulating AI. And I think she has a lot to say. So I'll share that link. But my question to you is, how can we champion the importance of fair and unbiased regulation that's controlled by a neutral overseeing body, like you suggested? I think you suggested the UN, without the influence of large corporations who have a lot of money and a lot to gain through their profits and their commitments to their own shareholders, but who might not necessarily benefit from sound regulation. What do you think we can do? How can we champion that against those larger companies and corporations?
Yes, thank you for your question. I think that for example, the people, like, there is a lot of people on social media, right? So we have to trust, usually we have to try to trust like people who like basically they know how to sorry, just give me a second. So basically I can't talk.
Sorry, it was a long question with many pieces. That's okay, take your time. I'm just, of course we don't have the answers. I'm just thinking about how do we, as human beings who aren't part of large corporations, how do we advocate for that kind of regulation that might not benefit those large companies?
Yeah, so I think that we must, we try our best to spread awareness to try to make AI like being regulated and controlled by legitimate international organizations or people who know how to kind of know how to use these bots, because and we try to kind of avoid big companies that try to create AI just for the need of power or money, just like what I mentioned. And I really think that we should try to just avoid them, I guess. Maybe we can protest, but it's going to be a little more violent. So I don't know. I think the best way to do this is by spreading awareness in social media. I think that's all. That's my answer.